Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another Murder Minute video. So trigger warning, this video includes necrophilia, cannibalism, and violent crime. So if any of those are going to be triggering to any of you guys, I suggest you go ahead and click off of this video and tune into some of my more milder content found on other areas of my channel. Today I'm going to be covering the case of Richard Trenton Chase. This took place in Sacramento, California between 1977 and 1978. Now, Richard Trenton Chase is probably not a name that's going to trigger many memories from anyone. I mean, I've been studying like serial killers and true crime novels for more years than I care to remember, and I don't think I've ever read a case on Richard Trenton Chase, but he had a grand total of 6 victims, and his was a gradual progression, which most serial killers are, a gradual progression of violence. His crimes began as shootings, and they increased to cannibalism, necrophilia, and extreme mutilation. He harbored some strange obsessions about blood, but like I've covered in a previous case on cannibalism, that holds true for most cannibals. He believed he was poisoned by the Nazis, and his blood was turning to powder. Now, that one's a new one on me, but again, it kind of holds true for most cannibals. They believe that they have something wrong with them and that they need their victims to cure or to supplement what they're missing or what they're ill with, to keep them alive or keep them moving or to keep them going. So he often claimed that his heart had quit beating. It kind of reminds me of that movie Hellboy, with the guy that, he'd like turn the gear in his heart, like if you stabbed him, it's like powder coming out of him. That's what it kind of reminds me of. And he believed that his skull was changing shape, so he had a lot of dysmorphia about his body. And he also accused his mother of poisoning him on repeated occasions. So he had a lot of issues going on with poisoning and body dysmorphia and other issues. Chase even once injected rabbit's blood directly into his veins. So he was trying everything he could. He thought there was something wrong with blood in his body. So he had some serious mental issues going on. So, with all of that said, if that didn't lead you to believe that Richard Trenton Chase was unstable, he also suffered from psychosis, schizophrenia, and extreme paranoia. I mean, if you couldn't gather that from the other stuff, let's just lay it out there. These are what he, suffered from. And his mental issues eventually manifested in the brutal attacks. I mean, knock me over with a feather. But let's get to who Chase was. He was born on May 23rd of 1950 in Santa Cruz, California, and he was abused from a young age by his father, physically abused from a young age by his father. His parents argued violently, and once his mother fled, Chase was the sole recipient of his father's abuse. So he grew up watching his dad abuse his mom and him, and then once his mom ran away, he got the brunt of the abuse. At Chase's teen years, he developed a dependency on drugs and alcohol, and he also started showing the, very, characteristic serial killer tendencies. He was torturing small animals. By the age of 12, he started wetting the bed. He was committing acts of cruelty on animals, and he was also committing acts of arson. So, I mean, he had like the trifecta going. As an adult, things only worsened for Chase. His mental issues were worse, and he was alone, so mental problems and isolation together make things even worse, and he would sometimes eat animals raw. He would even liquefy their internal organs and drink the mixture, thinking that was like helping him with his issues. By his early 20s, he believed that his heart was shrinking and that by consuming animal entrails, it would somehow keep him alive. So, like, already in his early 20s, like, you see, like, his issues with his heart, his internal organs, his blood, like, that strange mixture is already there. 1975, Chase injected himself with rabbit's blood, giving himself a severe case of blood poisoning. This resulted in him being taken to a mental institution. By 1976, he escaped from the mental facility, and he was apprehended and sent to a hospital for the criminally insane. This is where his vampire tendencies were fully exposed. He would regularly discuss blood drinking fantasies with the inmates, earning him the nickname Dracula. Late in 1976, he was declared no longer a threat to society and was released. Now, in 1976, he's telling the other institution people, hey, like, I want to drink blood. And they nicknamed him Dracula. But later the same year, they say he's no longer a threat to society. So he was back out on the streets, and he went right back to his normal. He was catching small animals. He was drinking their blood. He even called a neighbor and told that neighbor the horrific things he did to that neighbor's dog. And then by December of 1977, Chase committed his first murder. So December 29th, 1977, a man by the name of Ambrose Griffin, who was 51, dropped dead. Boom. He was outside of his Sacramento home. Chase was driving by and fired a .22 caliber pistol randomly in Griffin's direction. There was no rhyme or reason, no motive, no nothing. And Chase killed this man for no reason. Random act of violence. The police investigation found casings near Griffin's home, but nothing leading to a suspect. Chase was wandering the streets of Sacramento, and on June 11, 1978, Chase approached Janie Layton's home. He walked up and tried the door, and then the window, all while Layton was watching him. Everything was locked. Layton described Chase as disheveled, long-haired. Layton met Chase through the glass back at the patio door where he had started. So, glass patio door. She's standing on one side, Chase is standing on the other. Chase stared at Layton, lit a cigarette, and walked away. Chase would later claim, locked doors mean you aren't welcome. So later the same night, still January 11, 1978, Chase found an unlocked door. The door was at the home of Robert and Barbara Edwards. I cannot talk. Robert and Barbara Edwards, who returned home from the grocery store to a man crawling out of the back window. That is the door. Robert did give chase, but lost Chase when he jumped a fence. The Edwards called police, who found not only were valuables taken, but Chase had urinated in drawers and defecated in their son's bed. Not done for the night, Chase approached Nancy Holden, who was shopping. She described him as obviously a homeless male. Chase asked Holden, where were you on the motorcycle when Kurt was killed? Nancy was stunned because she had dated a guy 10 years earlier who was named Kurt, who had been killed in a motorcycle accident. Then Chase stated, "It's me, Rick Chase." That's when Holden realized who he was. That homeless man was the brother of her boyfriend who was killed on a motorcycle. Chase looked nervous and as if he was addicted to drugs. Chase's clothes were stained. Nancy made excuses to get away, but Chase followed her to her car. Chase begged for a lift, but Nancy made a quick escape. She would later state that she didn't recognize him because from when she knew him, he was a clean-cut, well-mannered individual. And when she saw him at the grocery store, he had long hair, he was disheveled, and he acted erratically because of his mental illness. January 23rd, 1978, Chase found an unlocked door at 2360 Tiago Way. Teresa Wallen was home. Wallen was 3 months pregnant and was taking out the garbage. Chase attacked Wallen in a blitz style with his .22 caliber pistol from his previous victim. One bullet entered her palm, one bullet entered the peak of her skull. Wallen fell to the floor, dying instantly. Once Wallen was dead, Chase was able to act out his fantasies, and he drug her body to the bedroom. Chase raped Wallen's body repeatedly. Using a butcher's knife, he stabbed her lungs, her liver, stomach, breast, removed her left nipple, tore her pancreas, took out a kidney, and left her intestines hanging outside of her body. With all this done, Chase collected her blood in a yogurt pot and drank it and smeared it on her face. One last defilement for Wallen's husband to find, Chase stuffed dog feces in Wallen's mouth. January 27th, 1978, Chase reaches peak frenzy. Chase took a step from a serial killer to a mass murderer. So, this is what Chase is a mentally ill serial killer. Now, he does have some aspects of an organized killer since he does bring this pistol with him, but then he also has aspects of a disorganized killer since he does find things around the area in which he kills and incorporates them into the murder. The butcher knife was from Wallen's home. The dog feces was in her yard. Things like that he incorporates into his murder. So now he's like reaching peak frenzy. His cool down periods in between his murders are much shorter. This one's just 4 days later. Chase reaches peak frenzy when he started by breaking into Evelyn Miroth, a 38-year-old who was babysitting her nephew David Fiera, who was 22 months old. There were 2 other people in the home, Miroth's 6-year-old Jason and a neighbor named Dan Meredith. Chase entered the hallway and shot the neighbor Dan execution style in the head with the .22 caliber pistol. So, neighbor kid dead. 6-year-old Jason heard the shot and ran for the stairs with Chase in tow. Jason was shot twice in the same fashion. 6-year-old dead. 22-month-old David was shot in the head 22-month-old dead. Chase found Evelyn in the bathtub and shot her once. He took her body to the bedroom, raped her. He also carved her body up with a kitchen knife. He stabbed her vagina, her anus, exposed her intestines, attempted to remove an eye, slashed the back of her neck, and once finished with her body, he drank her blood. Chase took David's body and cracked his skull open and ate part of his brain. Chase then took the 22-month-old body with him. So, he does all this vile things to this 38-year-old female. He cracked open the neighbor kid's head and eats part of his brain, and then he takes the 22-month-old with him when he leaves. Chase castrated the body and used the penis as a straw to drink blood from his body. Pretty disgusting. When he was done, he placed the body in a box and dumped it near a church. The murders went mainstream and police and FBI appealed for information. Nancy Holden suspected Richard Trace, and police reports showed a strange man wearing an orange parka near Teresa Wallen's home. This was the same clothing Nancy saw Richard Chase wearing. Authorities looked into Chase and he matched the profile of the killer. So they had police profiles and Chase matched it. FBI went to visit Chase with the intention of bringing him into custody, but Chase would not go quietly. Chase refused to open the door, so FBI agents pretended to leave and hide. When Chase came out, he was carrying a box. It's never good when a serial killer exits carrying something. Chase was apprehended. The box contained bloodstained clothing and Dan Meredith's wallet. But inside the apartment was worse. The walls were caked with dried bloodstains. There were also utensils and kitchen equipment caked in blood. Animal remains and internal organs were found in the fridge. Internal organs belonging to Teresa Wallen, Evelyn Meroth, and David Fiera were also in the fridge. After a short trial, Richard Chase was found guilty of 6 counts of first-degree murder. Chase was sentenced to death in the gas chamber. December 26, 1980, Richard Chase overdosed on antidepressants in his prison cell. Which actually is kind of a common occurrence. Most people who get death sentences or like life in prison will find some way of committing suicide, or they're generally murdered on the inside, especially when they have some cases involving children. Anyway, guys, that is the sad, disgusting, and sick murders of Richard Trenton Chase. If you like this video, I mean, it's a sick video, but if you like the style of this video, not the content's kind of nasty, but give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, ring that bell so that you're updated every time I upload a video. If you have a case that you want to hear, or if you want to comment on this grisly and disgusting murder, you can leave that down in the comment section down below. Or if you want to send me a case and have me film that case, you can do so by either leaving that in the comment section down below, or look in the description box. You can find my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or my email. Those are all linked down in the description box down below. I actually had one of my followers leave me, not for this type of video, but for my Scientology videos, leave me an article, and I shot a video on that and shouted them out. So if you leave me an article for this type of video and I end up filming it, I will shout you out in that video for giving me the content. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.